I'll never forget what my grandfather said to me right before he died. "Are you still holding the ladder?" There was a sex scandal at the school that I went to. It was deeply personal to me because I was homeschooled. I have a trophy wife, and to show everyone how great she is, by their fireplace, I have her head mounted. So let's class it up a little bit here. Porn. Calm down. I was surfing porn sites the other day for research reasons, as one does. For things like, what are the alternative purposes for cucumbers? Does 6 guys and 1 girl mean she's bad at math? And do they ever just pay the pizza guy and let him leave? And through that, I found out that gangbangs and drive-bys are eerily similar. Because either version can end with 6 shots to the chest. But I had a normal childhood. My dad took me hunting once. He wore orange, I wore antlers. And I am married, and I realized that a wedding and a funeral are only times that you're surrounded by people that love you, and they get to see you die twice. When I met my wife, it was love at first Stockholm syndrome. A year later, we got married, and on our wedding night, my wife said those magical words, "Take off my wedding dress. I hate when you try on my things." So like I said, we've been married for almost 20 years now. Romance does die down a little bit. Like, we were in bed the other night, and I just looked at my wife and said, "You're a beautiful soul, amazing, the best things ever happened to me." And she said, "You too, buddy." I don't know why it made my wife sound like an old school NFL announcer. "There he goes again, trying to take my bra off. Bumbo." And we're trying to do some fun things to spice up our love life. Like, my wife's like, "Send me a dick pic." So I did. And then she said, "What's this?" "You sent me a picture of your face." So like I said, I am married, and we have 2 kids and 2 pets. And every morning I get the animals breakfast and then the dog and cat. That same teacher called us because he's having trouble learning his words, and she's like, "Your son today said A is for asshole." And I said, "At least he got one." Wait till he gets the letter C. The kids can embarrass you though. We were out in public, and my son was trying to be cute, and he said, "Dad, do you love my cheeks?" I was like, "I love your cheeks." He's like, "Do you love my eyes?" I was like, "I love your eyes." And he's like, "Do you love my penis?" Whoa, whoa, whoa. We do not talk like that. And he goes, "Sorry, dick." So I got a vasectomy a few years ago, and people asked me, like, "How did you know it was time?" Well, I was pillow fighting with my kids, and then I realized I wasn't pillow fighting with them, I was just smothering them. But don't worry, it was a breathable pillow. So I go to my vasectomy doctor. He's like, "What brings you in here today?" And I said, "Attempted homicide." And he said, "We get this all the time. Here's what we can do. We can cut the vas deferens and cauterize it for extra measure." I said, "I like this 2-for-1 deal. It reminds me of that time where I bought a used deep freezer that came with additional grandma." So I found out that my neighbor has sex with his dog. I'm sure that's no walk in the park. This guy went from bros before hoes to pooch before cooch. He's got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Over this past weekend, I got dressed up as a clown and went to random kids' birthday parties just to see the look on the parents' faces when they realized neither of them ordered a clown. My barber gave me some problems recently. All I did was go in and ask for 2 inches on top, 1 inch on the side, with a nice faded look. And he said, "I can't do that. Pull up your pants and get out."